Howdy everyone, this is Mott Bot, this is the Diamond Society, and welcome back to episode number 5. We're sort of over in the area where we worked in last episode. The towers are right behind me there, and my house is right there behind those trees. Of course, that's where we got pranked in last episode too, by James, Steve, and Pleasant Muse. So everything's fixed up here. I did that at the end of last episode, but then also I just did a small bit of work connecting these two areas here with that little bit of path that I was standing on just a moment ago. And that leads right up into this area here, just like I said it would. So that's pretty cool. So then we come over here to these towers, which we're apparently missing a part of them at first. Now let's go ahead and check on my armor actually before I forget. So anyway, I got a lot of positive comments on the last episode. You guys seem to really like the towers, which is pretty awesome. It was pretty neato to see that. I still really like the towers. I think they're pretty neat. So I really like how the sky just blends right in with the sun right in the middle like that. That's pretty cool. So let's go ahead inside here, and it hasn't been too long since I recorded the last episode, so to have that many pumpkins isn't terrible, and a whole lot of melon, which is pretty awesome. And anyway, in this episode I said we might be working along the outside of this, kind of sprucing up this area, and I'm not entirely sure actually. I don't think we're going to be doing that because I actually want to see kind of how this area develops at first, and maybe do some more group building projects around here and see what happens there. So we're just going to leave these alone for just a little while, and we'll come back to these when this area just comes to be just a little bit more of a downtown area. We also cleared out a lot more over here, and I actually broke my shovel digging, and now I had an efficiency 3, and that was all that was on it. Then enchanted a new shovel, and now it's just efficiency 4. So, well, yeah. So I guess it's okay. I mean, it did just kind of tear through all this, which is pretty good, but I don't know, unbreaking would have been nice for how much I did dig, because I dug from right about here all the way over. So that was pretty good. I got kind of bored and I had nothing to do, so I just grabbed a pick and a shovel and went at it. So anyway, in this episode I want to be working away from spawn actually. We're going to be finally moving out of spawn and starting my own base. So I do have a location already picked out, and there's another portal over there as well. So it's kind of close to Corp, but let's go ahead over into the nether and you can see just what I'm talking about over there. Okay, so this isn't the portal to where my base is going to be, but if you watch some of the other members on the server, you may know that this is LowCorp CEO's portal. Like I said, I'm going to be right near him, and if we just come down his tunnel just a little bit, you can see just a little bit of opening here. Just a little light on the ground, and then this tunnel goes right over here to my portal. So he's just a little bit further away than I am, but it's fairly close. In the overworld, I think it's about 400 or 500 blocks. So it's not too bad there. So I got the portal right up here on top of this Savanna Plateau, I think. Where's biome? Savanna Plateau. So that is overlooking this whole area here, which I think is really, really cool. I really do like this hill up here, and then, of course, it's a savanna, so I really want to be doing a Savanna Ranch. I think that'll be pretty cool. It's not something I've really ever done before, and also I looked online for some inspiration, and I just really couldn't find much at all. So it'll be pretty cool to kind of do my own kind of thing here. And just looking around, this really does impress me. The view is so cool, and it's just starting to load in some back there. I think that might be a Rift Forest Hills or Rift Forest Plateau, if that's a thing. That's kind of what it looks like. But on the server, we have slightly amplified terrain, and then the flat areas are also a little bit more flat than the rest of the area. So this combination really, really is nice. I'm thinking of having like a house up here probably overlooking the whole ranch that goes down there, and then it also goes off in that direction just a little bit. And we got plenty of animals around here as well, which will be pretty cool, so we can do some cattle ranching and some sheep herding, and I think there's horses around here. I'd really like to be a horse breeder, so that'd be pretty cool. We can have tons of horses for racing and stuff. I think in the end it'd be really cool to have a horse track that goes around the perimeter of the area. So anyway, over here you can see, well, first off, just how big the savanna is, which is really neat. But there's also a desert right here, which is pretty good for sand. And if we keep walking just a little bit, well, there's also pigs back here. I actually didn't see those before, so that's pretty neat. I think we got just about every animal then. I'm sure we can find some rabbits in this biome here. Probably some chickens too, otherwise eggs aren't too hard to find. So that'll be pretty cool. But if we keep walking, and you should just be able to get it into view. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so I guess it's on the other side of this hill. But we do have, there it is, the other savanna. So that's really neat. We got two savannas right here. And okay, there's what I was actually looking for. Let's head over there real quick. I guess I kind of walked in the wrong direction. Okay, this is another village. Or I say another village, but there's really no other village other than the one at spawn. Although I think there might be another one that direction. I haven't actually explored over there, but I was looking at a midst for a place to build, and I think there might have been another village over there. So that's pretty neat. So anyway, in here, I don't think there's a blacksmith. Doesn't appear so. However, we do have lots of villagers. We got a couple in there. Let's see what you trade. You have, oh, that's a flame book. Okay, you're no good. Anyway, oh, there's another guy up there. Hi, can I click on you? Can I? Nope. Through the door. Oh, there we go. Lure 2, so I guess, I mean, if you combine two of them, you get a lure 3. But yeah, there's just a bunch of them around here. And thanks for closing that door in my face. So it'll be pretty neat. We can get a villager breeder and an iron farm going along here. There's the chickens. Obviously not like a big iron titan, because that's not going to work if it's not in the spawn chunks. But it will be pretty neat, I think, to just have like a smaller iron farm, so I don't have to keep running back and forth between here and spawn. Because spawn actually is fairly far away. It's not close, that's for sure. And that looks really cool. So, yeah, you got a, what do you want to, is that acacia? I think that's, yeah, that's what you call it, acacia, and that's in the birch forest. I'm so bad with biome names. Plains. Wow. Okay, so anyway, I also have this one texture pack now, and this is what the area looks like in just the whole greenery, everything really bright. It is pretty cool, although it kind of defeats the purpose of the savanna kind of area, because this does look like a deforested jungle. So I think I've got a lot of good area to work with here, and I've got a lot of cool plans. So if we have the hill right here, we can probably put the storage area in the side of that, just a giant like sloping thing like this, and that digs back all the way through the mountain here and have all storage, villager breeding, maybe a couple farms in there. And then out here, just go crazy with like large farms and everything. So I think that'll be really, really neat. Let me get rid of that spider. So anyway, I think today I want to work on just starting off a tree farm. Nothing too fancy, just kind of a manual farm, but I do want to put like a building around it and probably like an orchard around it. Just kind of, I want to really design like hide the actual farms inside of kind of like what they would be in nature or what you might see them in real life. So for a tree farm, I do want to put like an orchard around it or something, you know, something like a wooded area. That'll be pretty neat, I think. And just kind of disguise it in the middle, so kind of hide it, make it look pretty nice. So it's another goal I have for this area, is to just keep it looking as nice as possible, very decorated, and just to see a lot going on here. I really want it to be just, that area just has everything going on. You know, you just look around, and no matter where you look, you're always seeing something. So pretty cool, and I think we might also be able to go on the other side of this hill. Of course, there's plenty of room up here to work as well for a few other small bits. If we come back here, yeah, there's another. So that's where the birch forest is. So that was what I was thinking about earlier. So we have all this area back here also if we want to use it. So that's really, really awesome. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and collect some supplies. I got to get just a few bits over here that I'm going to need for building that tree farm. Anyway, I'll meet up with you after that. Okay, so this is the base layout here. I don't think we're going to need much more room than this. This should be plenty of room for the farm itself. Well, we're not actually going to be using the center bit here between these two andesite blocks in the back and then coming along to the front here. Now we're going to have like a staircase that goes up 3 or 4 blocks here, and then we'll just build up the blocks around it to give it kind of more of a structural foundation, and then we'll also have a ceiling on it to limit the growth height of the trees. And I think this will be pretty neat. I punched out a bunch of the grass around here, and I might have gone just a bit overboard. It did fit into the land pretty nicely. I didn't actually have to do any of that except for 1 block, so that was pretty good. But anyway, I'm going to keep working a little bit. This will be the kind of theme that we're going for, the andesite and the oak wood. So this will come off a few blocks here, and then we'll keep the oak wood in the center like this, and then probably go with some oak stairs here and an oak path that goes between it. And then we'll bring up some grass too, so we'll just put some dirt up at the top, and that'll probably be around this height. And then most of the structure will be most of the andesite, and then we'll also use a bit of glass and probably some cobblestone walls and some stone half slabs. I think that'll be a pretty good mix, and we might also get some of that gray acacia wood in there too. I think that could be pretty cool. We won't be using any of the planks because the orange is, well, it just doesn't fit in all that well. But I think the gray will fit in really quite nice, so we'll go ahead and do that, and we'll see what we come up with when I'm back. Okay, so I built up the foundation a little bit here, and it's exactly what I was describing earlier with the andesite going up like this. And then I also reseeded some oak wood behind it, just like I had laid out. At the beginning, I didn't have enough oak wood. I actually had to run back. But I also just set this little bit of dirt here. This isn't actually part of it. This is just to let the grass grow through. And so I got these 2 giant dirt areas here with the path through the middle. And trees will grow on either side. And probably if I just center it, which I don't actually know if there even is an exact center, but it would just come all the way down here because you can grow most trees next to each other, and then they'll just bone meal up, and I can cut them all down pretty easily. I think if I put the roof 7 blocks above where the sapling would be, so 8 in total, then they should not grow to the super big trees that take a while to cut down. So then anyway, for around the side, because I don't just want it to be like this and then have like a roof, I want the roof to be supported and stuff. I think we'll just go, probably just alternating these. Now if I go, I think it's 4 in between each one, like that, so that should line up with the next post here, and it does, and then we'll have those other 2 there, and it'll just kind of keep going like that all the way around. And then I'm just going to carry up these, and I'm going to leave these open so you have just a little bit better of a view of the area, and so we'll go like that. And we'll do the same thing over here. It'll probably end up being more, of course. Like I said, the roof has to be 7 or 8 blocks up. And so that'll go all the way up to there, and then we might do fence posts at the top or something. Not entirely sure yet. I haven't actually gotten that far, but if we just do that. So yeah, so I ran out of fence posts, and you might actually be able to fit through here. Yeah, you can. So you can get out pretty easily. So anyway, that'll keep going up, and then we'll get the whole ceiling supported, and then I can do something fairly decorative for the ceiling. Now, actually looking at this area from afar, it actually looks pretty cool. And if we get over there, you can see how the fog starts to take over the area just a little bit. And there, now the fog starts to kind of come over it. It's right along the edge there. And then backing up just a little bit further. I, of course, do want to kind of keep it in view. I'm not sure how small this will actually be on YouTube. But yeah, it doesn't look terrible. I think from up here it looks pretty cool. I like the angle on it. We'll have the road coming right about there. And right back into the storage room that'll be down in this area here. So the road will kind of just go off in a slant. And then carry all the way through the biome back to the desert, and possibly even through that. Not entirely sure about that yet. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and keep working now. I want to get the ceiling on, and we can go ahead and test if the saplings will actually grow to a reasonable height. Hello, Mr. Rabbit. Oh, hey. Hey. Hi. So, I went ahead and added the roof here, and while doing so, I had one other idea, and that was these stone half slabs in the middle here. So you got 3 on top, 3 on bottom, and then the stone half slabs in the middle, and that will be 7. And I think it works really nice. I think it definitely adds just a bit more detail, and certainly beats having just the plain cobblestone walls going straight up. I think this adds a lot more, makes it look a lot more complete along the bottom. And though, speaking of completion, we do need to add another roof on top of this and just kind of finish it off, because right now this is looking pretty bare bones. Not a whole lot going on. And I think the bottom looks pretty nice, so we're not going to be making too many changes to that. Maybe a few jack-o'-lanterns for lighting, but that would be about all. So anyway, there is the ceiling, and now I did say that I'd have a sapling, and I'd test out the growth, although I dropped the ball on that one. That didn't happen. I forgot about that. So anyway, what we'll do is when this is done, the whole building is, I'll go ahead and run over and grab some bone meal. And actually, I probably have some bones over here from killing skeletons. I do, so I probably could test it, although I'd like to run many tests to make sure that this farm is going to work the way I want it to. And if it doesn't, and it either grows too tall or isn't tall enough, we can adjust the floor here and just move this down a block or 2 or up a block or 2 if we have to. I'd rather do that than adjust this whole structure above it and make it a whole lot more complicated up there. So just kind of limit the work. We'll just make sure we can just adjust that floor, which is pretty nice because it is a pretty easy floor to tear out and to adjust, and the design makes it pretty easily too, where it wouldn't be too detrimental to just go along like that, and then maybe just add another layer of these stone half slabs down here to just kind of add a barrier. So it could be pretty easily accomplished, and also the grass is growing in pretty nicely. It's almost done here, over halfway, which is pretty great. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of doing the rest of the building. Hopefully it'll be done when we come back and we can go ahead and test it for real, assuming that I do actually have a sapling then. I had a sheep eating up all my grass here. So anyway, I know I usually record during the day, although I thought it was a pretty good shot here at night. It just kind of gets this awesome glowing effect. I think it's pretty cool. I've got these kind of dangly lights here on the sides, and they go around on all 4 corners. Let me know what you think about those. I'm not entirely sure I like them. It was just kind of a quick afterthought, and you run into the nether and grab some glowstone. I don't know how much it really fits. I just thought it needed a little something on the corners there. But yeah, not entirely sure, so let me know. And then I also added some jack-o'-lanterns in the middle here. And I think these work really well. I think they blend into the green of the grass next to them really well. And so they really do just kind of fit. And then I can just grow the trees probably on either side or even in the middle along and just skip the jack-o'-lantern block. Doesn't really matter. It'll grow pretty much anywhere. So the ceiling from the inside doesn't look too bad. And from the outside, I think it looks pretty cool. It doesn't exactly match the whole ranch theme, but I think it matches the rest of the build pretty well. Now from up there on the hill is where I want the best view of the whole place to be. And from up there, it kind of looks like a coliseum. It really does, because there's no actual like finished roof. It's kind of sunk in to like right here, so that we can get the actual growth of the trees to be right there. And so I think it just kind of looks a little derpy from up there. So I might add another layer of glass on top of that, and I'll probably post a picture over on Twitter and see which one y'all like better. So that'll probably be done in between episodes if I prefer it with the glass, but that'll definitely be something I try. So yeah, if you go over to Twitter at MottBotYT, by the time this is published, I should have a picture up, or at least maybe later that day, sometime around then. So go ahead and check that out and let me know what you think, because I really don't know about this. Uh, this is a little bit different from how I planned it out in my test world. Ceiling's very different. The original one used a whole lot of half slabs. It was very, very gray, and it was kind of expensive because I don't I don't like placing all those half slabs. I especially don't like making all those half slabs. So yeah, it wasn't all that great, and so I think this works a whole lot better. It's a lot more kind of simple, and I think it just fits with the build a whole lot better. It's not so bulky either, which is pretty good. So anyway, let me know what you think on a whole bunch of things, and I'll be sure to make those changes if I see that they're pretty good. Now, one other thing that I want to do in between episodes is get kind of like a room in here, at least maybe kind of mark out where the rooms are going to be. Probably just be one room with two entrances for symmetry, and then have kind of a back room so that when I have the storage room over here, I can put all the items that I get from harvesting trees in here, and then put it down in that room in like a minecart or something, and have it ship off into the sorting system, get all dumped out there, and then have the cart come back here for the next time I use it. I think that'd be pretty cool, and to have like a whole bunch of little train stations dotted about the whole ranch here. So anyway, we have a few things I'll be working on in between episodes. So anyway, if you have any inspiration for that, there are certain things you'd like me to include, go ahead and let me know down below. But I think that's going to do it for today. Go ahead and subscribe if you did like this and you'd like to see more. But anyway, this has been Mott Bot, and I'm out.